This ministry was inspired by God showing me that I am a preacher in 10 buildings each for 20,000 people each in one city where I preach 10 different sermons in one day. This is great. An explanation about Jesus having been tempted by the devil. Gospel of Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then Jesus was led up into the wilderness by the Spirit to be tempted by the devil. Why the Spirit leads to be tempted rather to avoid having been tempted? A temptation is a kind of problem or question that needs to be answered. A simple example of temptation. Somebody says you in an email, pay me $100, and in 10 minutes I will return you $1,000. The proper response is to reject the temptation. The temptation is any information that might lead to a decision that looks good. You gain $900, but in fact, you lose $100. That's the definition of a temptation. No, that temptation is a kind of a question that needs to be answered. Many people think that the more information they receive, the better informed their decision they make. But in fact, if there is a temptation in that information, more information may actually lead to a poorer decisions. After overcoming that temptation, you would probably write a manual how to deal with such email temptations for others not to fall into it too. Jesus, speaking with the devil, answers questions that apply not only to the personal situation, but also to the future. It is a manual about how to answer to the devil. This is the reason why Spirit led Jesus to be tempted by the devil. Because a temptation is a kind of a question that needs to be answered. Jesus answered the devil's questions. Verse 2. Having fasted 40 days and 40 nights, afterward he hungered. Jesus should have answered the question when he was weak, because there was not enough glucose in his brain. That because it would not use if Jesus overcome the devil by complete philosophical answers through these long discussions, which he didn't have the power to settle because he was hungry. It required short, striking answers to be applicable to many situations in the future. Verse 3. And coming near to him, the tempter said, if you thus the Son of God speak that these stones may become bread. But answering, he said, it has been written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word going out of the mouth of God. The only meaning that I see in these words of God, of Jesus, is that we should fit into the plan of God. If Jesus would say this is this would not, as if he said, the stones to be transformed in bread. This would not be in the Father's plan, and therefore would garble all the life of Jesus. I doubt that to apply these words of Jesus in Christian life practice. Especially, I don't know how to apply it to prosperity gospel. You are not so tightly connected to God the Father as Jesus is. So we cannot see when we are deviating from God's plan and when no. Jesus even told us to ask the Father for food every day. Probably this means that we should ask for blessing only based on particular God's promises, called word going out of the mouth of God by Jesus, rather than just saying bless me. Because the devil asked Jesus to say just bless him without any reason. Verse 5. Then the devil takes him to the holy city, and he set him on the wing of the temple. And he said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it has been written, he shall give his angels charge about concerning you, and they shall bear you on their hands, lest you strike your foot against a stone. Verse 7, Jesus said to him, again it has been written, you shall not tempt the Lord your God. This simply means that we should not do experiments with God. In my podcast Philosophy of Jesus Christ, I explained that God is a time machine, and making experiments with a time machine may be dangerous. If Jesus would jump, he would be checking what God does in this situation. Verse 8. Again, the devil takes him to a very high mountain, and he showed to him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, I will give all these things to you if you falling down, you will worship me. Then Jesus said to him, go away, Satan, for it has been written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and you shall serve him only. Here the devil discussed with Jesus who of them two will be the leader. Jesus, being God, said that he is sufficient only with the situation when Satan, even unwillingly, because Jesus outsmarts the devil, will serve to him, that is to God, not vice versa. The devil requested from Jesus symbolical language of worship falling down, what means that Jesus would proclaim a surrender. 11, verse 11. Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came near and ministered to him. After finishing the temptation, angels fed and cured Jesus after 40 days of hunger. By overcoming the temptation, Jesus proved that he is worthy worship of angels. This sermon ended. Thank you for your attention. Be blessed. This ministry has been started and directed by God. Please take your part to support this ministry. Subscribe to this channel, press like, post a comment. Your help will be very much appreciated not only by me, but also by God, who will bless you. Thank you. Get the books provided by this ministry and also the course How to Get to the Highest Heaven. Yes, you read the course, believe it, and get to the highest heaven. Please look in the description of this video.